What's up, YouTube? I want to talk about I want to talk about Deja Vu. Uh, I recently had an experience. I recently had an experience. As well as the house dreams, I also have just reoccurring deja vu. It's also been going on for years. Actually, the deja vu thing's been going on pretty much my whole life, for as long as I can remember, because it's just insane coincidences and weird. So like whenever I get deja vu, it's super noticeable. It's a very particular feeling. It's a very particular like sensation that kind of goes off. It's like I mean, you guys know what deja vu feels like, but I'm talking like, I mean, man, it's heavy. I mean, it's like, I really don't know how to describe it. It's like things have come together, but you can't. It's like you're holding it, but you can't recognize it. You're looking right at it, but you can't recognize it. Have you ever been looking at an ordinary thing? Have you ever just looked at something in the wrong way or something? You just looked at an object in a weird way, and you couldn't, just something about the angle you're at. You just couldn't figure out what you're looking at, and then you like step up and get a little bit closer just to find that it's just the TV remote on the table. That's it. It's just an ordinary object. But like for whatever reason, where you, just the view you had, you couldn't tell what you were looking at. For some reason, you can. Has that ever happened to you? There's just been a thing, just some little something, you just couldn't tell what you were looking at until you got closer, got at a different angle, and you like, but it was just an ordinary object, like something that you should have been able to tell what you were looking at, but you couldn't. It's a weird thing that the deja vu comes up, because it's inexplainable, and it has a link. I've been able to link it now to my dreams, because I my most recent experience with deja vu, something about it, I was standing there in the moment. Something about it, I was standing there in the moment. What the moment was, is I went to the library with my friend, and so we were about to leave. She was about to take me home, and we were just to hang out and study for a while. She was doing her thing. She was and I was trying to find some information about eclipses, but the I'm gonna make a video about that, because that's a really weird situation in itself. I've been trying to find information about these eclipses so that I could determine where I am with those eclipses. But so I was standing there. We were about to leave. The deja vu came up. It was weird this time, because the whole day I felt it about to happen. I'm like, the deja vu's not happening now. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's about to happen. And I'm like, I think it's gonna happen while we're at the library. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it coming on. You know what? Like, you just feel something that's about to happen. Has that ever happened to you? You get the like that precognition. You just feel like something's about to happen, but you don't know what. This time for me, it came with the deja vu. I was like, I like knew it was deja vu for some reason. I just knew it was deja vu that was about to happen this time, and it did. Right before we left, uh, I'll read. Today I had a profound experience. My consistent deja vu essentially converged. Today I went to the library with Anita. I want I wanted to look for books about eclipses, trying to find records or anything really. I looked up multiple books that the database said was available. I mean, it was almost 10 books. It was like six or seven, 8 books is what it says here. It was a bunch of books, and one of them was a book of giants. I didn't have any of them. None of them were available. I'm gonna make it's a whole nother video why. I'm gonna have to make a whole nother video why because there's not enough time in this one. Uh, but none of them were available. None of those books were available, so that failed. And then right before we left, which I had a suspicion that I wasn't gonna have any luck with those books because they're Eclipse books. It's gonna be in the other video. So right before we left, there was a moment when I was standing up in the library. I had gotten all my things together and I was standing up at the library, and there's this big giant, there's a big wall. This library is huge, by the way. It's massive. It's got like 1.5 million books almost. It's huge. Like it has an elevator in it and stuff, and there's it's just huge. The architecture is really neat. But there was this big wall. I was looking up at it, and the left side of this wall has this big doorway. It's like a normally width doorway, but it goes straight up to the ceiling. There's no top to the door. It went straight up to the ceiling. It was just like a wall door. You know what I mean? That's the doorway. And actually it did have something at the top. It just kind of ended at the top, and at the top it said Core 3. So I was standing there looking at this doorway and the wall and a sign that said Core 3. And it came up when I stood, and I put my view there. It happened. The deja vu happened. I was like, this exact spot. I've stood here before. I was like, the deja vu came out. It was heavy. I was like, and I expected it this time, but it came, and it was weird, because I was like, this is it. I was in the moment that time. I could feel it. The deja vu came on. I was like, this is it. The Core 3 sign. That's with the big door. I've been here before. I've done this before. I've been in this exact spot, standing here looking at the Core 3 sign before. I've been here. How is that possible? So I'm sorry. I'm reliving that. I lost where I was. Standing there looking at the Core 3 sign, the deja vu came up, and so the deja vu has happened enough times now it's happened enough times now to determine that dreams aren't just dreams. Especially when you couple this with my experiences with the house dreams. How can you... So, like... That's right, I had deja vu. I wrote it here. I had deja vu again while I was writing down about that. so the whole thing with this core 3 deja vu is that it's something that I, looking there at the core 3 sign, it was something that I stood there. Sorry, I really had a moment there. I don't know what was going on there. I was standing there looking at the core 3 sign, and it's deja vu because there's something I had seen in a dream years ago. I'm talking like more than a decade ago. I stood there like in a dream. I saw that wall, big door with the core 3 sign. I saw that in a dream, and then lived it, experienced it years later. Exact same thing. Exact same thing. Stood up from the chair, look at the wall, the big door, the core 3 sign. Been here before. This was a dream. I dreamt this. So now I'm questioning how is this possible? Because this isn't the first time it's happened. This has just been one of the more significant ones to date because it's the one that's made it click. You know, it's the one it happened enough times to I can't ignore it anymore. It happened enough times. You know, you go something happens, you know, you do when you're testing something scientifically, it has to repeat in the same way every time. You know, otherwise it's not science. Otherwise it's not scientific, right? So which is exactly what's happened here. I have a dream, then years later, I mean like a decade later, it happens. That's why it's taken so long for this to accumulate into to me understanding it. It's because it's been happening my whole life, and the dream will happen. It's just a dream. A decade later, the dream comes true. Okay, well, that's weird. Then it happens a second time. There's something strange maybe going on here. Third time it happens, there's definitely something strange. You know what? Another decade goes by, and something strange is going on here because I'm having a dream, and it's coming true. I'm not talking once. I'm talking like I can't count it on one hand anymore. Like, so dreams aren't dreams. Dreams aren't just dreams. Every time, so based on my experiences, based on what I've got written down about the dreams I've had, about the house dreams, and about my deja vu experiences, dreams. I'm gonna make part two to this one.